Hey everybody, it's Richie from the Starlight Project. I'm running on approximately 3 hours of sleep and worked a very long day. Real quick update, a lot's happened over the last 6 years. And for my future self who's going to be watching this, let's say within the next 10 years, I'm really hoping next 5 years or two if I'm lucky. But within the next 10 years, you're going to do some great things, and things don't happen overnight. That's for certain. Real quick, I want to do a quick shout out. I want to say thank you to my beloved wife, and my family and my friends who continuously supported me with my endeavors. Mostly, I want to thank my wife because none of this would be happening without her encouragement and her support. So, anyways, over the last 6 years, a lot has happened. Um, Prior to that, one of the biggest turning points in my life was losing my dad. He made some poor choices and got into an accident and did not walk away from this one. Now, it appeared to me prior to that happening that for the time being, it seemed like life was revolving around me, like everything in life was revolving around me. Whenever I felt super confident with an idea, a business idea, when I felt like I figured something out and I got just flushed with this feeling of ecstasy, the self satisfaction of coming up with this amazing plan, everything so planned out, the intricate details just placed on the paper in front of me. It seemed like there was always something that came about just to stir everything up. And it's happened so many times, at least a dozen times. Be it mechanical failure of a car right before something big's going to happen, or the implementation of a plan or a process which is going to lead to some massive, like, hardcore stability in my life. And that was one of the biggest things that I was looking for. I'm still looking for some stability. I'd say for the time being, no, at the moment, I'd say life is pretty stable for me, but there was always something that happened, always something that knocked me off course, and it took meeting my wife in order to get put back on course. Um, Anyways, I started hanging Christmas lights about 6 years ago, and with that, I started doing it for free. And then I came up with this awesome idea. I'm going to start hanging lights for people, and I'm going to charge them money. And then the best part about it is I'm going to supply the lights. I'm going to hang them. I'm going to design everything. And then what's going to happen is after Christmas passes, I'm going to come and take them down. You're not going to see them again until next year. Okay? Genius plan. I was so freaking stoked. And then what ends up happening is I figure out, this is something that's been going on for a long time. There was already a Christmas light installer industry that was encircling my area. But anyway, I started doing it a little more hardcore. I started pushing the Facebook buy sell trade groups. I was making Facebook posts. I was putting flyers up at post offices, and then I ended up catching a break, and I landed two decent jobs. I landed an $861 job and then a $560 job. Now, what was that, $1,300? That's not a lot of money today, but back then, 6 years ago, I was, 23, 22? That was a lot of money, because, at that time, I was working. I was still working in the factory, but I was making like $11 or $12 an hour. So getting that huge chunk of change right before the holiday, it was amazing. Now, of course, I needed help, so I had my brother help me, and then I had my cousins and some friends help, and we ended up doing pretty good. We were doing pretty good for ourselves. And then what ended up happening was COVID ended up destroying the market and all the progress I had made. I took that year off, and then the following year, the market was still uncertain. Well, I think, it was last year. Last year, I met my wife, and she did three amazing things. One, she essentially saved my soul. 2, her and I have a beautiful baby boy. And then 3, she got me back on track when I kind of just gave up on trying to create my own path. This is something that has been very close to me my entire life. I've worked so hard to try and just make something of myself so I could be my own boss, so I can choose my fate, so I don't have to rely on someone else. And I want to have that self-satisfaction of being able to build something that would support my family. That's my entire life's purpose. So ever since I got out of high school, since I was 18 years old, that's 11 years ago, my entire life purpose has been to essentially build that stability, so one day when I find a woman whom I would marry and then have children with, I'd be able to support them. To me, that's what makes a man, is somebody who can support their family. Now, she came up with this awesome idea after I was telling her about the Christmas light little venture that I had. And she was like, oh, well, why don't you try and do it? Why don't you try and do it this year? And I was thinking, maybe? I don't know about that. Well, the year prior, that was the second year that I took off, I actually had bought a spool. I think it was maybe a 250-foot spool of C7 sockets and C7 bulbs with multi-purpose clips, which were trash. I ended up landing first customer. We ended up doing it. I didn't use the materials that year, but last year we ended up using the materials that I purchased. It was about maybe I think it was $200 in materials. So it was $200 in materials, and we ended up selling that job for $780. Now, we took that money and reinvested it, and we ended up buying, I think, a spool and some C9s. And what ended up happening was, by the grace of God, we were having people like reaching out to us, and it wasn't even a lot of people. Like, a lot of people were interested, but not, like, hardly any of them purchased. But we ended up picking up, I think it was 12 jobs, which totaled maybe 30 hours worth of work. And I also had to pay some helpers to help me with those jobs, some friends that I work with or that I grew up with. And we ended up closing about $15,000 in sales for 12 jobs. So that's, I think, on average $1,300 or $1,400 a job, which is crazy because that's almost double what that one lady who spent $860 some had paid. But it got me thinking, there's way more money out there to be made, and there's a lot of people who don't even know this exists. Now, we're going to fast forward, and I'm done telling the story. I purchased this truck after I got hired onto the company, and my pay increased significantly. And I purchased a truck. It reminded me of my father's truck. He drove a 2004, I think it was a Dodge Ram, I think it was a 2500. It was a diesel, and I love that thing so much. Oh my God, it was a Ram 1500. It's 2016. So anyways, beautiful truck. I ended up selling it because I needed something that was more practical for what I was going to be pursuing after Christmas season was over. I wanted to get into landscape lighting. I wanted to do bistro lighting in people's backyards so I could help be a part of the memories that are created beneath those lights. Great conversations happen around fireplaces with lights above them. Great memories, childhood memories. Oh my God, I have so many childhood memories that just come as flashbacks. So many childhood memories are created under something like that. So many childhood memories are created coming home and having the Christmas lights lit up in the front of the house, or going over to Grandma's house, and as we get closer to Christmas, the lights start flashing a little bit quicker. Being able to see all those inflatables, and those were my childhood memories with Christmas. So I ended up selling the truck. Got out from, I think I owed about $24,000 left on the truck. At the end of the day, I would have paid 32, and it was a very good truck. And I don't like making very, very big purchases. So, anyways, we ended up picking up this Ford Transit. So this Ford Transit essentially was being used for rental jobs for weddings, and it was being used for landscape lighting jobs. This is what I needed at the time. I still need it now, but last year was trial for the other events. We got an awesome little sign here with the QR code, the Starlight Project with the number, event lighting services, and then the website. QR code takes you to our Facebook. So this Transit has virtually everything that I need to be able to bring the bacon home to Mama and Noah. This van was owned by an HVAC guy, or an HVAC company, so I ended up coming with the tank rack. I don't know exactly what this is used for, maybe for AC charging, but the tank rack ended up getting converted into, repurposed for not tanks but for spools. I keep my electric cables here, keep my support wire, which is 304 stainless, and of course the gas for the auger, and then I'm in the process of cleaning this up, but it came with these shelves, and I was like awestruck by the utility within this thing. I had more than enough shelves that I needed. I needed space, and I'm extremely grateful to get the van with these shelves, because the shelves alone would have cost a lot of money. So anyways, we got this, right? And then when my buddy was walking me around, he opened this door and he's like, hey, that's not all. This thing has freaking drawers in it. So I have everything labeled. Our ratchet straps are on the top. We have our Mason anchors. We have wall clamps, support wire components, which is your thimbles, your turnbuckles, some electrical tape, and everything that you could possibly need. Sledgehammer for driving stakes, more electrical. And then the best part about it, I had to haul a 40-foot ladder on top of the truck. And that involved me taking a towel and putting it over the backup light, and having to carry that big ass thing and pray to God that I don't collapse the entire cab of the truck. Well, I don't have to worry about that now. We got a ladder rack. We can carry a 40-foot ladder on this thing. It'd look funny as fuck, but just as long as you flag it, it's good, right? It's good. Anyways, we were storing majority of our products inside the van, and we ended up joining the Chamber of Commerce by working out a couple deals. We offered services in exchange for the lowest membership, and we were extremely grateful that they offered us this. Now, in doing so, they had a Chamber of Commerce meet and greet, and that allowed us to be able to meet the owners of the Majestic Theater in Kankakee. Majestic Theater, you're gonna see some videos about that. But anyways, the Majestic Theater, the owners I became associated with, and we ended up picking up a job doing event lighting for the International Natural Bodybuilders Association, which that was something in of itself. It was so crazy, that experience. But anyway, we're going to fast forward maybe about 2 months, 3 months, and I reached out to my buddy. He owns the Majestic. He also owns a bunch of other properties. I'm like, hey, man, I'm looking for a place to be able to kind of run part of my business out of. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I need stored, and like I need a place to store and be able to fabricate my lights, because we do everything by hand. We get the socket wire. We have to screw each individual bulb onto that string. And he says, you know what? I might have a place. And I end up meeting him, and I'm like, God, I need to make this next jump. I sold the truck. What's going to be worse than selling the truck? I might as well pick up a lease to be able to run the business out of. And now, I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. And at first glance, I'm thinking, my ego's like way up here. My ego's way up here. I could do better than that. But then I started thinking the practicality. He's not charging me an arm and a leg. And I don't need like a fancy building. I don't need anything. I just need functionality. I just need something to work for me. So we end up landing this garage. It's decent size. It's about 16 by 40, 16 by 36 or 32, I think. Yeah, I think it's a 16 by 30. And the really cool part about this is we primarily work in the winter. And he has a furnace here. And the furnace is for this unit right here. And he has it here to keep the water pipes from freezing for the tenants, which is really cool. So we don't have to pay for heat. We also don't have to pay for the lights. We got 2 lights here. We don't have to worry about charging batteries up and running lights, and have to worry about solar lights or anything like that. Hooking lights up to hooking up lights to the van, powering them, running extension cords. Everything's in here. We got 2 lights. We got heat. He's very generous for allowing us to be able to rent this place. But this is where all great things happen, right? Great things happen, and at the bottom, the whole point of life is to climb. The whole point of being able to experience things is to be able to learn, to be able to put different problems together, be able to come up with solutions, being able to grow. And I see this as a great opportunity for, he's giving us a space. I'm going to finish the installation. We're going to seal up the walls. We're going to clean up the floor. Thinking about laying down some rubber mats. All this stuff here in the back, he's going to be taken within the next month or so, I believe. And we're going to clean this up, and this is going to be home for the Starlight Project. At least I'm gonna say as long as I can make it happen. Because if it's one thing about me, I don't like taking risks unless they're heavily calculated, and even then I still make mistakes. I don't like making risks, or I don't like taking risks, and I like to control the growth. And I guess the drawback of that is that we don't get as much growth. It doesn't grow as quickly, but I kind of just hopped on this thing like a month ago. So we're making it happen. And the cool part about it is a couple jobs are going to pay for this thing. So a couple hours, we already got about $15,000. I guess it would be 75% of that with the discounts and the coupons that were mailed out. So I'd say we got about $11,000. Those customers are probably going to renew their or not renew. Those customers are probably going to call to schedule their appointments for us to go hang lights with them. And once they send the checks, this whole thing's paid for a year. And on top of that, we're going to be able to purchase more equipment to be able to serve more customers. This year we are going to be doing interior work. We're going to be doing garland on service desks. So we're going to be hitting up the hotels. We're going to be doing wreaths. I sat down with the CEO of Holiday Bright Lights earlier this week, and he was telling me about these battery-operated wreaths, which are awesome. I guess they last the whole season without having to worry about changing the batteries out. We're going to be doing trees, and the really, 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 really cool part is, those mega trees that are like 32 feet tall, 36 feet tall, almost 40-foot metal tree. We're going to start, I'm only going to take on one big job, one big tree this year, if anyone wants it. I don't know what the prices are going to be. I got meetings next week, in the following week, to try and get all the finite details taken care of and established. But we're going to try and do one mega tree this year. And the best part about this is you guys are going to be along for the ride. I'm not going to start like a YouTube channel or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to document this that way. Myself, 10 years from now, is going to be able to watch these videos and be like, wow, I'm so fucking proud of myself. Look at where I came from. And now I was able to quit my job. And I know for a fact I can support my family with my own, my own hands, with my own will. That's what it's always been about, was family and stability. That's what's always been about for me. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. We've been going on about 20 minutes then. I'm probably eating up a whole bunch of memory on my phone. So if you made it this far, say I made it and then put an exclamation point in there. And then I'll give you, I don't know, like 20% off Christmas lights. So if you got $1,000 job, I'll do it for $800. I'm such a shitty salesman. All right. Anyways, you guys take it easy. And Richie, very proud of you, man. You've come this far. The support network that is around you, supporting you and your family and the future family. Oh shit, what if my grandkids are going to watch this one day? Oh my god. I'm going to make sure this video is played at my funeral. Anyways, you guys take it easy. And thank you for all the support. And thank you for every single thing that you guys have ever done for me. I really do appreciate it. And you guys know that I will do everything I possibly can to return the favor. I love returning the favor. So you guys take it easy. Bye.